My dear Watson was, unwittingly, very close to the truth. I believe it is, indeed, the Tower of London where Lupin will go tonight. Let's go see.
I'm glad that Watson has recomposed himself, but he really should know Holmes a lot better by now.
Here, we are in place. Inspector, have you checked the plan?
Affirmative, Prime Minister. Half of Scotland Yard is in the building. The other half is spread out over the vicinity with mobile patrols. No one can pass unseen.
Perfect, gentlemen. There's nothing else to do but wait.
This will be our revenge.
The merit belongs to you, dear Doctor. You will have the honor of bringing the news of our triumph to Her Majesty.
Thank you. But we cannot forget Holmes, who...
By the by, where is he?
He preferred to remain at Baker Street. I think he is somewhat vexed that I was able to resolve the affair without him.
We wouldn't be mollycoddling Holmes.
Too bad for him. He'll learn of Lupin's capture through the papers.
If I'm mistaken, I'll be the only one to know. However, if I am correct, Lupin has very little lead on me and will remain unaware of my presence here. He's alive and doesn't seem hurt. This man was certainly put to sleep by a strong sedative. There is no longer any doubt. Lupin is here, and there's no question what he has come to steal. What is his plan? I must find Chief Warder Smith and inform him as soon as possible. The name Schick is inscribed on his uniform, and to judge by his glossy moustache, he takes good care of himself. There, some cartridges are intact. This sidearm was submerged in water and is unusable. Closed.
Okay, so we have a box of matches, and if we go to the map, I believe there are some areas. Are these all the areas we could go to before? No, the weapons room is missing.
Lupin must have installed this rope in order to take the maximum number of objects out of the Tower of London without having to transport them. Think, if I want to catch Lupin and be assured that he hasn't been able to remove the jewels before that time, I must prevent him from using this rope without him noticing. This rope is very high. Without the keychain, I cannot get up to the ramparts, and scaling the wall in this rain will prove too hazardous. I will have to wing something towards the rope. Something that can cut it or burn it, perhaps.
I'm not going to walk all the way around. I'm going to go straight to the scaffold site. Nice textures. Oh, hello. Wait. Holmes? Why are we able to do this?
This warder is asleep. The name embroidered on his uniform indicates that he is Kirkpatrick. There is something here. There seems to be a little bit of green paint on the right hand. It's Chief Warder Smith's hat. This print on the ground suggests that someone had a heavy fall here. Someone was dragged to the door of the storeroom. The rain hasn't yet removed the prints, thus they must be quite recent.
I'm guessing that it is the Chief Warder.
Closed.
How are you, Warder?
Hickman.
Are you injured?
No, but I have a headache. I feel sleepy.
Wake up. Where's Chief Warder Smith?
He left with the doctor into the storeroom.
The storeroom is locked. Who possesses a key?
Smith and the cook, but he is out.
Who else? Speak, Warder.
Fatty Johnson, in his locker, a duplicate which he stole.
I must leave. Bide your time until I return.
Closed.
So we need to find the storeroom key, which is in Johnson's locker, and we can't enter here just yet.
Two hot air balloons in solidarity. The inertia of such a ship necessitates particularly precise and stable flight conditions. Certainly a gift for a child.
Roller skates.
This lamp has a funny shape. I am taking it.
That's one of the most oddest things and actions I've heard Holmes say in this game.
This may prove to be useful. This bed is dusty and must not have been occupied for quite some time.
Here we go. Now, before I trigger this puzzle, let's see if I can trigger something else.
It must be the guard's cloakroom.
Ahem. Well, Lupin is certainly making us wait. It's already been 4 hours that...
Enough, Lestrade, enough. I know how to count.
Listen. Shh.
What?
I hear a noise. Like a motor. A small motor.
Well, you have a good ear, because I don't hear anything with this cursed tick-tock.
Shh. Keep quiet. There is a strange noise, I tell you.
It's true. It's behind the door. Quick, Lestrade, it's him.
It's Lupin. What can he be up to?
Watch out! I'm going to open the door. I'll see...
So, Inspector?
What are you doing? Wake up, you lot of bunglers! It was nothing, just the snores of the men on duty.
Bravo, Lestrade! You keep your men in line.
You ought to congratulate Dr. Watson. A bit more, and it would have been the longest police hideout of all time.
Calm, gentlemen. Calm. Lupin won't be long now.
There we go. As before, in my test run, I kind of triggered that halfway through, trying to work out this puzzle. So this puzzle is, we need to find out exactly where Johnson's locker is. And we do that by working out where everyone else's lockers are. So locker number 1 is the sergeant's locker, but we don't actually know his name. And this is from Warder Schick, who was the first warder that we encountered unconscious. And it seems like Summerby and Schick share a locker. And Schick seems to share a locker with Bell as well. I may as well pick this up. This gives us names of all of the warders on duty. That's their given times. We have met Kirkpatrick, Schick, Hickman, who is the one just outside. And here we go. Actually, let's go back into this. There are some clues on here, like this one here indicates moustache hair. This one here indicates green paint. This one here is patterned cloth and a stool. And we know that Kirkpatrick was the one who had green paint on his fingers. Let's actually go out and look at these clues. Just to confirm things anyway.
This is, without a doubt, a freshly combed moustache hair.
So that confirms that this is Schick's locker.
This door is solid, the lock is rather ancient, and each locker has a different lock. If I want to open one in particular, the chance of finding a key within a reasonable amount of time is almost null. I will have to use force. Blow up the lock, perhaps? Green paint.
There we go, that confirms Kirkpatrick.
It's typical Scottish material. There is a kilt inside this locker.
And we have tartan material and a stool.
There is a stool here, possibly for helping the owner of this locker to reach the high parts.
We have a couple of letters that helps us. One is Morse. And if we speak to Hickman again, he'll give us some more information. The only problem here is that we can't repeat Hickman's dialogue.
Which is Johnson's locker? Where is it in the locker room?
Don't know. I never pass it.
Where is your locker and those of the wardens that you know?
My locker. It's the fourth on the left, next to Bell and the new. Opposite the fellow who is on duty with me. Willoughby is closest to the entrance. At the back is Dirty Flint. Oh, his locker stinks, and nobody wanted to be next to him.
I believe that's it. The sleeping pill has produced its effect. He's in a deep sleep, and I won't be able to get anything else from him.
Yeah, so if you didn't get that information, good luck. Let's go back inside. So Johnson's locker is in the rear from Hickman's locker. And Hickman's locker is framed by Bell and the New Order. And Willoughby's locker is closer to the entrance. And Dirty Flint is at the rear of the room, so Flint has to be one of these back two. And if we go back into the documents, it turns out that the new guy is actually Moore. So his locker is close to Hickman's, and Hickman's hours are the same as Law's. Only Scotsman in the barracks. Yes, Law is the only Scotsman in the barracks, apparently. So the tartan must belong to Law. March and Ludlow apparently are inseparable. It kind of implies that they're... Yeah, it kind of implies that their lockers are next door to each other, as they are always together. Jones, an old fellow... Old? I would have thought that would have meant odd. For being short, he is. So that means the locker with... the step... well, the stool is Jones. And there's also the Viking in the cloakroom, a Nordic name whose locker is across from Moore's. Sergeant O'Shea. So now we know the name of the sergeant. So we know that Hickman has his locker next to Moore and Bell. So it has to be in a free parts area. And Willoughby is closest to the entrance, or close to the entrance. Well, that must imply that Willoughby is at number 2. So, Hickman must be here. And Moore here, as Willoughby is... yes, Willoughby is closest to the door, to Moore. Hickman, and then this must be Bell. And the person across from Moore is Mortensen, is probably the most Nordic name we have on this list. And we know that Summerby is 2 lockers away from Schick, so he must be here. Flint is at the end, so he must be here. We know that March and Ludlow share lockers. Well, share lockers. They share an area with 2 lockers next to each other. And apparently March is protective of Ludlow, which seems to imply that his locker is before Ludlow's. So Johnson's locker is rear of Kirkpatrick, so that must imply it's this side. So Johnson's is number 7, Styles is number 13.
Elementary.
I hope I kind of worked that one out okay.
This door is solid, the lock is rather ancient, and each locker has a different lock. If I want to open one in particular, the chance of finding a key within a reasonable amount of time is almost null. I will have to use force. Blow up the lock, perhaps?
And that is what we're going to do. Now we can actually enter the cook's bedroom again.
Open. This may prove to be useful. This may prove to be useful. I'm taking whatever might be useful. The time is pressing and Lupin isn't far. I'm taking whatever might be useful. The time is pressing and Lupin isn't far.
I'm sure it will all be useful. So now we need to make a bomb. And we do that by... we have these cartridges. And apparently we need to use these nutcrackers on the cartridges. I'm not sure what effects that would have had, but there we go.
I will have enough gunpowder to blast open one locker. I must be sure of which one.
Wait, we can actually do this at random?
Open. This must be the key to the storeroom.
I'm kind of afraid to touch this.
This haggis is fresh and supple. Perhaps it is meant for the cook in order to prepare a special dish. Not appetizing, but I'm taking it regardless.
Okay. I think haggis was one of the last things I expected to find in that locker. Wow, these textures are getting worse.
Smith looks to be unconscious. Is there a chance of waking him up? Water. The lock of the grill has been changed, and I can no longer open it. That's it. Hickman fell asleep quite gradually, probably under the effect of a strong narcotic. The prints on the ground in front of the storeroom made me think that Smith was knocked out and not drugged. Thus, only a bit of cold water was necessary to awaken him.
Smith, wake up. Do you hear me, Smith? It's Holmes.
My head. What's going on? What am I doing here? Mr. Holmes? Where is the doctor?
Listen, Smith, pull yourself together and come here. Can you open this grill?
My keychain has disappeared. No, I can't open it. After you came through the other day, the cook insisted on changing the lock. It now needs a key.
Fine. In that case, I'll need your help. We'll need to find a way to get you out of there. Foremost, you must precisely recount the events of the night. And who is the doctor you speak of?
Well, early in the afternoon, the few men who were still present in the rampart were taken sick, with awful stomachaches. Must have been something in yesterday's meal. I don't digest tomatoes well, so I didn't eat, and I felt fine. Our usual doctor was absent, so I had to call a doctor in the area, Dr. Cernin. He hasn't been around for long, but I've heard good things about him. In examining the first man, he appeared alarmed and insisted on treating them with injections. We checked on all of the guards and he treated them all. The last to be treated was Hickman. The doctor was vexed as he didn't have enough medication to administer a full dose, but he assured me it would be enough. Afterwards, he asked if we had seen all of the men in the garrison, which was affirmative. He asked me to accompany him to the postern, and I had hardly turned when I felt a sharp pain at the base of my head. I don't remember anything else.
Paul Cernine. Obviously, it's our good friend.
I am beginning to see. What medication did he administer?
I really don't know. An empty vial fell into a puddle, and I picked it up.
The label is damaged and the water would have washed out any remaining substance. Impossible to tell what it held.
But what are you doing here? Can you explain what's going on?
I assume that the guards who are watching the crown jewels were also attended to.
Yes, and the only key leading to that room is on my chain.
I must help you out of here. Is there another key to this grill?
The cook has one, but he's out. However, I think I had a spare key to the guard room maid, and it wasn't on my chain. You might just find something there that will get me out of here, or capture the person responsible for all of this.
Aha!
Perhaps I'd be able to find something useful in this case, but it is locked. The interior diameter of this cannon is approximately 2.5 inches.
This served to store the exact quantity of powder necessary to load the cannon.
Oh, hello.
If I am to believe the tag on his uniform, this warder is called Summerby. Apparently he was also taken care of by the doctor, Dr. Lupin. Look, this warder must have lost this key in falling. What could it be for?
What the hell is going on in there?
It's the door of the Queen's jewel house, and it is quite solid. Was that the sound of a saw from behind the door? Lupin could be finished in his work any moment. I must make haste.
We have a locked box and a key.
This may prove to be useful. This may prove to be useful.
This dish is empty, but might work.
This liquid has a strong smell. Certainly a petrol derivative to lubricate or clean metal. There isn't much left, just enough to moisten a rag. This helmet stand is quite singular, sturdy and very light. Small, dry pieces of wood.
Okay, well, we definitely have a combination of some very random objects. Haggis, a lampshade, a helmet stand. I'd like to see what we're going to do here.